We're live. I'm sorry about the delay. So, sorry guys, I had a real problem with the streaming software and I had to contact their support and I've only just managed to fix it. So, we are here, we're live, and in this live stream, I'm here talking about what for me, after 20-something years working in this industry, is the root cause of the problem in the whole moving industry, not only for movers, but for the large majority of smaller agents who make up 75% of the industry. I've got one light I've got to turn on. Give me 3 seconds. Hang on. 1, 2, 3. Right, I'm back. Now, let me start by sharing with you a screenshot of the survey that caused a stir and caused the Negotiator website to do an article. So, sorry, I'm a little bit unprepared now because of that, but here is a screenshot and I want to talk you through it. So, oh, sorry, I got stuff on my screen that won't go away. Okay, so a few days ago, 4 days ago, a report came out in the media that showed that September mortgage lending was the lowest since 2008, except for at the start of the pandemic. Okay, now that is proof that there was a severe slowdown in buying activity even before the mini budget happened. Okay, so with this bit of evidence, and I've been saying that the market was going to fall since May and then again in August, and I've been trying to persuade agents to listen, as much for your own benefit as for the movers' benefit, to stop pretending that everything's still going up, it's going to be okay, and ignoring the hard cold facts out there that's saying that it's going the other way. And this is you might wonder, why am I doing this? Well, I'm campaigning for the public to understand that all estate agents are not the same, and that whilst many estate agents do carry out dishonest conduct, there are some agents who are honest and are worth taking the time to find. Now, when I did this survey on my YouTube channel, I was just genuinely interested to know how the home moving followers on that channel felt. And so what you're seeing on the screen now is the example of that survey. Okay, and my question was basically saying, how do you feel if you were trying to buy back in September, now that you know that market activity was falling, but about what agents told you about the market back then? I didn't tell anyone what to vote. This isn't my fault, guys. If you're an agent watching this, don't blame me for this. I'm just the messenger here. I'm just holding up a mirror to the industry as a whole, not to all agents, okay? Not to all agents. And, oh, sorry, the support is still messaging me. Go away. So I'm just letting you know what the public perception is, okay? I'm literally just sharing with you what the public perception is. This is 655 people have voted there. Almost half of them, so over 300, they feel deliberately misled. That doesn't mean that they were deliberately misled. It means that they feel deliberately misled. That is not me saying that agents are misleading them, is it? It isn't, is it? That is people responding, saying that they felt misled. That is not evidence of anyone lying. It's just movers saying they felt misled. And just under half said they felt deliberately misled. And 14% say they felt misled, but not deliberately. 30, so about a third of them said, don't care, I ignore them anyway, I made up my own mind and they're obviously wrong. And 5% said, actually, hang on, maybe the agents are right. So I've got to make this guy go away. So that explains the context of that survey. I had a whole bunch of angry agents responding on Twitter going, Charlie, all agents are not dishonest. I didn't say they were. My whole point is that not all agents are dishonest. So I don't really understand this visceral reaction I've had from agents about this survey. I asked the question, okay, and people are saying my language is leading. In what way? I'm asking them that now that there's evidence that there was already a slowdown in the market back in September, before the mini budget happened, how do they feel about what agents told them back then? I just asked a question, and there's an answer in there to say that they still, that they didn't feel misled. Okay, so it's a bizarre, and it feels like I've touched a raw nerve with some agents who consider themselves honest, but perhaps carry on in such a way that isn't always completely honest, because let's face it, to any of us who've ever worked in sales, you often find yourself in a situation where you're presented with a choice. Am I honest and talk myself out of this sale or this deal? Or do I say what they want to hear to get the deal over the line? I'm not judging anybody that does that. Okay? These are simply survey results. Now, so as a result of that, the negotiator did the following story, which came out this morning on their website. So this is not the headline. This is a misleading and inaccurate headline. Nobody claimed that agents lie to home buyers. That is a typical clickbaity rewording of the story. I haven't claimed that agents lie to home buyers in that survey. I haven't claimed it anywhere. This is misreporting of a survey that said that people felt misled. Okay, but what a fascinating reaction that it's been anyway, because definitely a raw nerve has been touched. So what is the, I've got some data here I want to share with you guys, right? Because I want to explain to agents watching this video that I am on your side. Now, the fact that I just don't go along with the whole industry bullshit narrative of everything's always going up and it's always a good time to buy doesn't mean I'm not on your side. I know that agents do an almost impossible job. It is an underrated, misunderstood job, which is incredibly important. You don't get paid enough for it. On average, in my view, most agents do not earn enough for what they do. And most people underestimate the importance of what you do for them. It is a life-changing service. It is hugely important. And that's why I am campaigning to make it better. How do we make it better? By outing dishonest conduct when it happens, which I haven't even done yet, guys. I'm just giving you a survey that shows that a lot of movers feel that there is dishonesty in a estate agency. Now, we all know that some agents are knowingly and willfully dishonest, right? And what does anyone do about it? What are any of you guys doing about it? You're not doing anything about it. You're carrying on. So you're lashing out at me about raising the topic of dishonesty in agency, but not calling out dishonesty amongst yourselves when you see it. What's that about? Like, I've been told that people, well, maybe we should take a more collaborative approach. What, you're going to collaborate with your competitors and that's going to stop them lying if you've got a lying competitor agent? Guys, it's been this way for as long as I've been in this industry and longer. I'll tell you a story. When I first started, this was before I got into the industry. I had a girlfriend and two best mates who all worked at Foxtons in the 90s. Okay. And back then, when it was privately owned, they were forced to lie. They were told to lie, and they accepted it as part of their job. It's what we're paid to do. It's what our boss tells us to do. We're going to go out there and lie. And specifically, they were told, tell vendors anything you need to tell them to get the instruction. Get the instruction at any price. Tell them whatever they want to hear. Tell them whatever they want to hear to get the instruction. That was their instruction. That was their training. And now the people who were trained like that in the 90s at Foxtons are now running massive companies in estate agency. Is there any surprise that there is a culture amongst some estate agency brands that kind of conduct is fine? We also know, some of them have been reported in the press, about individuals who've said, I am literally forced to lie for a living. I have to lie for a living if I want to hit my targets, if I want to not be fired, right? So please, can everybody stop pretending that there isn't dishonesty in a estate agency? I didn't, and I have never said all agents are dishonest. I am here fighting for the honest agents. I am on your side. So just listen to what I'm saying and watch what I'm doing. The purpose of this video is to explain my approach here, okay? Until the moving public understands that all estate agents are not the same, they will continue instructing dishonest agents. Why? Because dishonesty works. Dishonesty pays. That's why dishonest agents do it. And they're very good at it. And it's a whole big misleading set of trickery to suck up over 50% of movers into their funnel and tie them into a 2 or 3 month, or sometimes even 4-month sole agency contract, even when they don't sell. And in doing so, they are harming people's life chances. And that's what I want to change. And to do it, I need the help of honest agents wherever they work, wherever you work. Small, medium, or large agency. If you are an honest estate agent who does not lie for a living and who chooses not to lie and would rather sleep at night knowing you've been honest than carry on spewing the crap that you think people want to hear to get your deal, you're the agents I'm talking to and appealing to help me make Best Agent work. I've just realized that logo is back to front. That one's right, but that one's back to front. Never mind, I'll fix that later. So I've had a couple of people in the industry express surprise. So Charlie, why are you alienating agents? Well, I'm only alienating agents who don't treat their customers as they would members of their own family. Okay, I'm calling out the behavior. I'm not here to just suck up to agents and say, hey agents, oh please love me, and then use Best Agent, because then we just end up where we are now, which is most of the public having a bad experience when they move. So I'm going to call out some uncomfortable truths in order to improve this for the honest agents out there. Don't expect you to understand or agree with what I'm doing, but just wait till you see the results. I do have a small but growing group of supportive agents who understand what I'm doing and who are supporting what I'm doing and who are buying leads from Best Agent because they're winning business, because they're honest and it's business they wouldn't have otherwise got. So the whole concept of the Best Agent website is to allow a home seller or a landlord, a property owner that needs to sell or let their home, to completely sidestep the whole lead gen gauntlet that currently they face any other way of choosing an agent. Okay, it totally sidesteps that. How? Because Best Agent doesn't allow any corporate contracts on preferential rates. Every agent is equal on Best Agent. Big, small, online, traditional, it doesn't matter. You all have an equal shot at pitching a customer, and there's no cost for pitching. There's no cost for going around and actually doing the valuation. We only ask for our fee if you choose to accept the instruction. Okay? And if you think, well, I don't know if I'm going to sell it, then don't take it. Right? Don't take an instruction. This is exactly what we want to stop. We want to stop this approach by the industry that it's okay to sort of take on, 2 instructions for every one that you sell and think that that's normal and okay. Because that's letting down half of your sellers. Okay, I can hear that some of you say, look, it's the seller's own fault. Well, listen, if that's how you feel about your client, why take them on? Don't work with a client that you think behaves in such a way that they deserve your contempt as a customer, right? It's just walk away from that business. I mean, that's where the pile 'em high, sell 'em cheap corporate branch managers go. They don't care who you are. They want to sign you up into a contract and then hand you over to the negotiator team. You're not their problem anymore if you're just a listing manager. All right? So the game, this is not about hating the players. It's about hating the game. The game is bad. The game is rotten. The way estate agencies and lead gen companies in particular game movers creates no overall benefit for the industry, doesn't get you any more instructions than there would already be. Imagine if all lead gen products stopped tomorrow, you would still, on average, get the same amount of business. Okay, so this whole lead gen thing, which is basically agents fighting over each other to get to a lead first and get in the door first, get their foot in the door first, it just doesn't help anybody except for the ones who spend the most on lead gen and have this huge harvesting and end up getting 50 leads. Just does, you want to go on flogging that dead horse, you want to go on flogging yourselves in that game. I see really good small agents out there not getting the phone calls that they should get because they get sucked up by the lead gen tactics of other agents, right? And as a mover and as someone who represents movers, that's what I want to stop. I want to give all agents that are appropriate agents for a local vendor an equal opportunity to present themselves at no charge, present themselves to those vendors who don't know who they want to use. This is not for all vendors, by the way. And some agents go, well, they're not all going to use you. Of course, they're not all going to. I'm not expecting them all to use me. But there are forward-thinking, first-time sellers who go, do you know what? I don't trust any of the brand marketing I see, and all the agents on social media telling me why they're the best and they're the best, most honest agent, and why I should use that. Yeah, they're all doing the same, right? All these local agents do the same social media. And there's not a real point of difference. There's a few exceptions that do it very well, but generally speaking, it's just guff, it's just spam, it's just blunderbuss marketing. And if you're a mover and you stick your head up and go, I'm thinking of moving, you just get mobbed. Your email inbox blows up with endless emails, not just from estate agents, but from all the marketing partners of estate agents trying to flog you that stuff too. It's a nightmare for movers, and the industry isn't listening to that. The industry is so focused on lead gen that you don't care that you are overwhelming people's inboxes with utter junk, right? And nobody wants it. And there is a better way that's not only better for the movers, but also better for agents. The only people who will lose are agents who rely on massive marketing and lead gen operations and then don't deliver a good result in the end that lives up to their marketing process. They're the only agents who are going to lose, right? Guess what? They're the dishonest ones, okay? So those are the ones who should lose. Agents who are winning business that they don't deserve it should be the ones who lose, okay? And there are so many of them. So, sorry, proper old rant, hey? Now, I know that good people work in agencies of all sizes. This is not, I'm not anti-corporate, I'm not anti-online. Well, actually, I kind of am anti-online because I don't think anyone should pay up front to sell a house. It's just not a good idea. But those agents are still welcome to participate in best agents. So nobody is ruled out. Okay. And what we're doing, what we have built, is the ability for prospective clients and agents to talk to each other by video message or a live video call through Best Agent whilst protecting the seller's identity. Okay, so we're trying to solve the problem for the mover of being overwhelmed. The moment you give your details out, that's it, you're just overwhelmed. Best Agent allows movers, whether they're selling and or buying, to make inquiries with agents without revealing their contact information until the point at which they want to a certain agent. Okay, so we're giving some more control over the privacy of movers' data. And again, if you're a lead gen farmer, you're like, no, I just want all the data all the time. I don't want to spam all of it. We've got clients of our CRM system who are calling us up and saying, look, I want to send this mail out to everyone in my database. Why would it go? Well, because you haven't got the permissions. I don't care. I want to send it anyway. And that's 15,000 people that you want to send an email to. Yeah, that's right. But only 2,000 of them have opted in. Don't care. I want to send it. So, and this is not a particularly bad agent. They're a relatively good agent. They've been around a long time. They've got quite a good reputation. But the attitude is, I don't care about the marketing rules. I want to spam my database. So there is proactive evidence of that happening in agency. Everyone knows it happens. And if you're a mover, it's just like, please make it stop. Stop fucking nurturing me. I don't want to be fucking nurtured. I want to talk to a human being who actually gives a shit whether I make my move or not. That's all I want to do. Someone who remembers me, remembers my name, remembers my family circumstances and my family story, and genuinely wants to help and understands the context of the help. Not someone who's going to forget about me when they walk out the door and then just start sending me automated fucking emails. Okay? Can you tell that I care about this? Right. So I'm going to share with you some data here. Okay, this, I want any agent watching this video to understand the following phenomenon. Okay. Can you see this? I hope you can see this, right? So this is today's listings in Barnet. And what I want to show you here is that the top 10% of agents, there are 90 agents in this list, right? All the way down there, all 90 agents currently listing properties for sale in this postcode in Barnet, right? And just the top 9 agents, 8 or 9 agents, have got over 50% of stock, right? That's the same everywhere. That means the other 90% fighting over the other 50%. And roughly speaking, what it means is that that top 10% of agents has got 10 times the instructions on average than the other 90%. They are not 10 times better. They don't deserve 10 times more business. This is a crude average, right? But roughly speaking, that top 10%, some of whom absolutely deserve to be in that top 10% of market share because they've earned it by being exceptional, but a lot of them are the pilot high, sell it cheap, the volume agents, just pile up and just want to look like they've got loads of listings. Okay, that is the problem. It's the evidence. I didn't even know this existed until we were looking at best agent data. And no matter where I looked, countryside, town, city, everywhere I went, it was roughly speaking 50% or more of all the listings are with just 10% of the agents. So you've got this massive imbalance, right? A massive imbalance. And the problem with the ones who are getting all of those listings, not all of them, but most of them, is that they're selling a lower proportion of what they list than the other agents are. So you've got a situation where the agents listing the most property, often, but not always, are selling the least property in terms of instructed to sold ratio. And it's just dusty old properties sitting on the shelf because they're locked into a sole agency agreement and they can't move. And those movers are just watching their move chances slip away while they wait for this agent to just let them out of their sole agency contract. Okay, this isn't everywhere, it's not all the time, but it's widespread and it's a major problem for a lot of people. And in the same way that every postcode and every region and every area has its own unique market, every single person's reasons for moving are unique. And so when you've got estate agents who are like just numbers, right? Oh yeah, I did 50 vowels this week and I listed 25 properties or whatever it might be. That's 50 or 25 people's life chances that they have placed in your hands. It's a big deal. What estate agents do is life-changing, and the best agents, it's life-changingly good for their clients. And for the ones who just get signed up, chucked in the sorry, you're in a sole agency now, and ignored, it's life-changingly bad as they watch their opportunity slip away. They watch the property that they've had an offer accepted on, they lose it because they haven't sold their property because they signed up with the wrong agent. Okay, the number one problem on the long list of problems, right? But the number one problem for home movers in the UK is choosing the wrong agent. And why does that happen? Because there's no reliable method of choosing the right agent. And there's certainly no reliable method of identifying the honest ones from the dishonest ones. There's just no way of doing it. Okay? The best way to achieve that is to allow individuals to make a judgment based on the individual agents that they meet. So, which is why the best agent proposition, the whole point of it is face to face. You get to meet and talk to agents over video if you want, or in person if you want, without any money changing hands. So there's no barrier whatsoever to a mover being able to talk to an agent through best agent. There's no cost barrier, nothing. There's no obligation. There's no subscription cost of signing up. It's only if you get the business and you want the business, then you pay our commission fee for that lead. And it's the same with buyer leads and tenant applicants as well. So for applicants, those leads are transparently priced, all agents pay the same, and you get to see all the information on the lead before you decide if you want to buy it or not. If you don't want to buy it, you click no, and if you do, you click yes, and you pay the price that it says on the lead. This lead costs this much price. Same for all agents. It's transparent, it's fair. The pricing is based on the value of the property they're inquiring on, and it's the first and the only completely fair way for agents and movers to interact and to avoid being sucked into someone's fucking funnel. Okay? It's a massive life event. Movers don't want to be in your funnel. Okay? And they also don't want to be engaged earlier in the process. They also don't think of themselves as a commercial opportunity for you. All right? The word commercial opportunity is just business guff for profit. Okay? When I asked a well-respected and well-known industry commentator, someone who I rate and someone who I trust and like and is a man of great integrity, he's been in the game so long that he genuinely thinks it's okay to lock a reluctant seller in to a 12 or 16 week sole agency contract because otherwise you'd be losing the commercial opportunity. And when I said, well, what about that person's life opportunity chances? Oh, well, they should know better. Those aren't his words, right? But his implication was it's up to them, right? They get to choose. And the truth is, no. A lot of first-time sellers don't get to choose. They don't even know that, they like you in the valuation pitch. They decide to go with you. You give them your T's and C's, and guess what? They don't read them. They sign your T's and C's, and as lots of them don't even know they've just signed up to a 12 or 16-week sole agency agreement. They just don't know, right? And that's a shitty thing to happen to you if you're a first-time seller and you need to move. And it happens all the time. And I am determined to fucking stop it. Sorry. Heads up for those of you watching this who carry out that, yeah, fine if you say to them, by the way, our contract means that you are committing to us for a minimum period of 12 weeks, right? Is that okay? That's no problem. You're telling them in advance that that's what they're doing. But allowing them to sign it when they don't know that, not okay. And luckily, there's an increasing number of agents who don't have long lock-ins and they just have a rolling notice period. I recommend to the people following Moving Home with Charlie to ask for a 2-week rolling break, or worst case 4-week rolling notice period. That's like, why would you want to hold on to someone that doesn't want to be with you? Oh, because of the commercial opportunity. Well, what about that person's life chances then, right? What about the life opportunity they might miss while you keep them locked in and then fail to sell and therefore don't even get your commercial opportunity? This is, what happens here is a lot of really good people in agency end up, there's a sort of creep, and they end up thinking that certain things are okay because everyone's always done it that way. Look how many times that's worked out badly in history. Just because you've always done it doesn't mean it isn't stupid, right? The world has moved on. The customers, we've got new generations of customers in the estate agency moving on, and they don't expect this anymore. And they look at that practice and they just think, my God, you guys are dinosaurs. And so I know it's going to be a painful process for a lot of people, but let's take, like, right now, we are in October 2022 and house prices are falling. Agents know it. I mean, yes, there are exceptions. There are some local exceptions. So some of you might watch this and go, they're not falling where I am. Okay, cool. Good for you. Lucky. But generally speaking, there is now overwhelming compelling evidence that they are falling and have been falling for some time, which I've known. And so the agency didn't listen to me back in August, 2 months ago, when I said, watch out if you're pretending the market's continuing to go up, because you're going to end up listing properties that you can't sell. And just this week, that news has come out. Right, buyer registrations have dropped sharply, and yet asking prices are still going up, according to Rightmove. Sellers going, oh, okay, we'll quickly put sell. And some sellers are saying, well, let's put them on at 10% more on the asking price, so that when they come in at 10% under asking price, we still get the price we want. Guys, even if that works, the mortgage surveyors are going to downvalue it, aren't they? It's like so short-sighted. And if you consider yourself a professional in this industry, then do what the real professionals are doing, which is seeing the writing on the wall, seeing the actual numbers, and adjusting their advice and their conduct accordingly. And those good agents are still doing deals. Okay, they're getting realistic sellers, they're getting the price that properties on the market at a sensible price, and therefore they're getting competing buyers, and they're selling the property, and they're selling property at a price that their mortgage survey doesn't then come along and downvalue. Okay, and to all those agents out there, and this isn't an honesty thing, right? This is something else. This is like, wake up and smell the coffee. Still thinking that by putting higher prices on stuff, you're going to win more instructions. You're setting yourselves up for a massive fall, and there are going to be agents going out of business left, right, and centre, because unfortunately, because interest rates have now gone up to 6% for mortgages, standard variable rates are still 3%, but that's going to be going up too soon. You are going to see a reduction in transaction volumes. And what happens when the cake shrinks is that the quality professional agents stay in business, and in fact, some are doing better, and the rest of you don't. Right, you're going to struggle to stay in business. And the mortgage broking industry is facing the same thing, right? The volume of new purchase mortgages has already dropped massively. I've had a mortgage broker this week send me information that one of the biggest high street names has seen a 50% drop in new mortgage applications. So guys, that's half an hour of me ranting on. I do not think all estate agents are dishonest. I think there is a sliding scale of it. There are the completely honest ones at one end. There are the knowingly dishonest ones at the other end. And then there's a sort of grey area in the middle, okay, where you do what you do and you say what you say to get through, but you try and avoid actually disadvantaging the customers, okay? I get that it's a very, very difficult balance to tread, because if you're completely honest, you simply don't get the business, because the dishonest ones get the business because it sounds more appealing to the customers. And that is a nightmare catch-22 situation, which I get. So, guys, thank you to all my new subscribers, quite a lot of you actually, since my last video. So welcome to my new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. If you are an agent and you're worried about the future, number one piece of advice is find a local experienced agent that's been through previous downturns and seek their guidance and their counsel and their advice. Number two, I've done 2 videos, which is how to prepare for your pipeline collapse. Look at my YouTube channel. Yeah, just that one will be enough. And I'm going to leave it there for today. I'll be doing more soon to explain exactly how the whole best agent approach as a property website, as an agent finding website, and more is hoping to change the rules of the game for those of you who would like a fairer future. Fairer for movers and fairer for agents. Higher fees as well, which is something else I think is important. Thank you for watching. If you're still watching after 31 minutes, 32 minutes of that, sorry about it being late if you're watching it live. Please, if you're an agent, subscribe here on Best Agent on the YouTube channel, and go to bestagent.co.uk/agents and join up if you haven't. It's free to join, and lots more to come soon. Thank you guys. Bye-bye.